good afternoon everyone. So in last few lectures we had a discussion on electrophoresis technique and different types of electrophoresis. Now in today's lecture I am going to talk on capillary electrophoresis, which is also a type of electrophoresis. Okay, so basically this electrophoresis technique is divided into two types, like your zone electrophoresis and moving boundary electrophoresis. Okay, so first of all, what is actually a electrophoresis? So the differential movement, or you can say migration of ions by attraction or repulsion in an electric field. Okay, or you can also describe it like migration of charged particles or molecules under the influence of electric field. So there is a migration of charged particles. So on the basis of charge also you can separate the molecules which are present in the mixture. So below you can see there is one figure which shows how it actually works. Okay, now what is the purpose for carrying out this electrophoresis technique? Okay, so means you can say why we do this, or what is the need to why we carry this technique. Okay, so first that is to determine the number, amount and mobility of components in a given sample or separate them. Okay, that means for separation you can do this electrophoresis technique, or by electrophoresis technique you can determine the number, amount also. Okay, then second one is to obtain information about the electrical double layer surrounding the particle. Okay, and the third one, that is by using electrophoresis technique you can determine the molecular weight of proteins and DNA sequences. Okay, so that's why we are doing this electrophoresis technique, and this is the purpose for electrophoresis technique. Okay, now here you can see types of electrophoresis, which are divided into two main groups: zone electrophoresis and moving boundary electrophoresis, right? So this zone electrophoresis, which is subdivided into four different types: gel electrophoresis, paper electrophoresis, thin layer electrophoresis and the cellulose acetate electrophoresis. Okay, and the second type, that is moving boundary electrophoresis, which is also subdivided into four types. And the first one, that is the capillary electrophoresis. Second is the isostachophoresis, then isoelectric focusing and immunoelectrophoresis. So in this two groups we have seen about gel electrophoresis, isoelectric focusing, 2D electrophoresis, and now we are going to see about the electrophoresis technique, sorry, capillary electrophoresis. Okay, so here is the definition of capillary electrophoresis. So this kind of a separation, they are facilitated by the use of high voltages. Okay, that means in case of electrophoresis technique we have to use a high voltages current, you can say, which may generate electroosmotic and electrophoretic flow of buffer solution and ionic spaces respectively within that capillary tube or capillary. Okay, so here two terms are very important: electroosmotic and electrophoretic flow. Okay, so we'll see about it further. Before that, the principle of this technique. Okay, so this capillary electrophoresis, which is an analytical technique which separates ions based on their electrophoretic mobility with the use of an applied voltage. Okay, so in this process we are using a voltage. So on the basis of that you can separate the molecules. Okay, on the electrophoretic mobility means how they migrate. Okay, then this electrophoretic mobility is dependent upon the charge of the molecule. Means in case of electrophoresis, electro means you can say there is a application of a charge, right? So and there is charge, that means you can use different particles, or you can say proteins which are charged, right, which contains amino acid which have positive or negative charge. So simply you can say in case of electrophoresis there is a separation on the charge, on the basis of charge, you can say, or electrophoretic mobility. Okay, then viscosity, how it is, means how much it is viscous or not, and the atom's radius. So on the basis of these three things you can separate the molecules or ions in case of electrophoresis or capillary electrophoresis. Okay, Then the rate at which the particle move is directly proportional to the applied electric field, that is, the greater the field strength, faster the mobility, and the vice versa. So this is about the principle of capillary electrophoresis. Then neutral spaces are not affected, okay, and only ions move with the electric field, means some have a neutral charge, right? So they are not getting affected in case of electrophoresis. If two ions are the same size, one with a greater charge will move the fastest, because whatever the separation it will be there, that is on the basis of the charge. Okay, so for ions of the same charge, the smaller particle has less friction and overall faster migration rate. Okay, this capillary electrophoresis is basically used most predominantly because it gives faster results, and also it provides high resolution separation. Okay, so it is very useful technique because there is a large range of detection methods are available in case of a capillary electrophoresis. Okay, that's why means we are using this technique for separation. Okay, so electrophoretic flow, which is very important concept in capillary electrophoresis. So what is electrophoretic flow? So it is the process in which sample ions move under the influence of an applied voltage. Okay, मीन्स जे काय आयन्स त्या मिक्सरमध्ये प्रेझेंट असतील दे आर मूव्ह अंडर द इन्फ्लुएन्स ऑफ अप्लाइड व्होल्टेज. ओके, द आयन अंडरगोज अ फोर्स that is equals to the sample of the electrophoretic mobility and the electric field strength. Okay, so here you can see there is a formula. Then the flow of these ions is towards the opposite charged electron. Okay, so here you can see there is a electrophoretic mobility, then charge on ions, which is denoted by Q. Then eta you can say viscosity. then R is for radius, because radius atoms radiusच्या बेसिसवर पण काय होतं इथं सेपरेशन होतं. then E is for electric field strength, and the last one that is for velocity. Okay, that is V. So this is the formula by which you can determine the electrophoretic mobility, which is the process where the sample ions move under the influence of an applied voltage. Okay, then the second term, that is electroosmotic flow. Okay, so osmosis, there is a means you can say transfer, you can say, means there is a osmosis under the influence of an electric field. So this speed of this electroosmotic flow can be adjusted by changing the buffer pH. Okay, and the bulk movement of solutes is caused by electroosmotic flow. So it is usually sufficient to sweep all positive, neutral and negative spaces towards the same end. So here one important sentence, that is electroosmotic flow is sufficient to sweep all positive, neutral and negative spaces towards the same end. Okay, so here is the formula to how to determine this electroosmotic flow. So that can be determined by using this formula, which in that C, which stands for dielectric constant, E is for electric field strength, then zeta potential, viscosity and velocity. So the velocity of ions is sum of velocity of electroosmotic flow and electrophoretic flow. Okay, so total you can determine by using formula, that is V total is equals to V electroosmotic flow plus V electrophoretic flow. म्हणजे ह्या दोन्हींच्या काय करायच्या, velocity ॲड केल्यावर if you add these two velocities you will get the final or total velocity. Okay, now so that is all about the theory part of electrophoresis technique. Now we'll go to the next point, that is instrumentation of this technique, right? So typical capillary electrophoresis consists of different chemicals, you can say, or different things like buffer solution is very important. So like sodium hydrogen phosphate, you can use phosphate buffer. Okay, then high voltage power supply, which has usually 5 to 30 kV kilovolt. Okay, then a sample introduction system means how you will inject the sample into that capillary. So for that you need a sample injection, which has means by pressure or by vacuum. Then capillary tube with internal diameter of 10 to 100 millimeter and 20 to 100 centimeter in length. Okay, then you need a detector and output device. This is the instrument, you can say um, instrumentation parts. Okay, then some instruments include temperature control device, right, to measure the to ensure the reproducible results. So this is because the separation of sample depends on the electrophoretic mobility and also viscosity of the solution. So it decreases, the column temperature rises, so that's why you need a temperature control device. Okay, so sample injection, so you can use hydrodynamic injection. So by applying pressure or by applying vacuum and by gravitation, you can use this hydrodynamic injection to inject your sample into that capillary. Okay, and you can also use electrokinetic injection by using electric supply. Okay, now these are the examples of detectors which you can use for detection of the compounds or detection of the ions which are detected by the capillary electrophoresis. Okay, so detectors similar to those used in gas chromatography and HPLC. We already have a discussion on we had a discussion on this gel gas chromatography and high performance liquid chromatography, right? So you can use that detector for capillary electrophoresis also. Majority of instrumentation have UV detectors available. Alternative detector modes include commercially available IR, then fluorescence, laser induced fluorescence, conductivity and indirect detection. So the mass spectrometers is frequently used to give us structural information on the result peaks. So okay, these are the detectors for capillary electrophoresis. So now here you can see the proper instrumentation of capillary electrophoresis. So there is an inlet outlet vial, okay, sample while power supply is very important. Capillary, you can see there is a U-shaped capillary. Okay, then detector is there. Computer means output device, so on that you can easily see. Okay, there are different modes of capillary electrophoresis. First one, that is a capillary zone electrophoresis, capillary gel electrophoresis, capillary isoelectric focusing, and the last one, that is a capillary isostachophoresis. Okay, now we'll see one by one in short. So this first one, that is a capillary zone electrophoresis. The analytes move in the electroosmotic flow, okay, but separate into the bands because the difference in their electrophoretic mobility, that is your mu. Okay, काय होतं हे. Then differences in mu make each analytic overall migration velocity slightly different, and difference in the migration means velocity will be equals to the separation of the compounds. And third point is the mu, they are roughly a function of analyte charge and frictional and size differences. So at the bottom of this slide you can see there is a capillary zone electrophoresis. So this represents the entire capillary electrophoresis process. You can say the potential voltage is applied, right? So you can see there are three different zones are there, which are in a green, blue and red in color. Okay, so there is a electroosmotic flow. So in case of a capillary electrophoresis, you should understand what is actually electroosmotic flow and electrophoretic flow. Okay, then the second mode is the capillary gel electrophoresis. So they use gel, right? So by name you can easily understand, right? So this is the adaptation of traditional gel electrophoresis into the capillary. म्हणजे काय फक्त there is one difference, that is gel, right? And first one जो काय zone होता, so we'll get a zones, right? So this capillary gel electrophoresis uses separation based on the difference in a solute size as a particle migrate through the gel. This gel prevent the capillary walls from absorbing then a solute. So here you can see at the middle of this instrument there is a gel, and in both the sides there are a buffer right, and there is a high voltage power supply. So this is also very simple mode of capillary electrophoresis. And the third one, that is a capillary isoelectric focusing. I have told you about isoelectric focusing, right? So this type of a technique is used to separate peptides and proteins. Okay, isoelectric focusing, or you can say capillary isoelectric focusing, is generally used to separate the peptides and proteins, right? So these molecules, they are called as the zwitterionic compounds. We have seen in a proteins chapter, in that there is a classic, there is most important part, that is amino acids, which have who have a zwitterionic form, right? So these molecules, they are called as a zwitterionic compound, जे की आणि पेप्टाइड्स आणि प्रोटीनचं सेपरेशन केलं जातं. सो each molecule has a specific isoelectric point, right? Because what is the isoelectric point? The point at which the molecule become a neutral, okay, or you can say they have a neutral charge, right? So if pH is equals to isoelectric point, then molecule becomes a neutral. That is about the capillary isoelectric focusing. Now last type or last mode, that is a capillary isostachophoresis. It is a focusing technique which is based on the migration of sample components between the leading and terminating electrolytes. So this is very simple technique which is based on these things, okay. So this capillary electrophoresis have some applications like in genetic analysis, then analysis of pharmaceuticals with the chiral centers were also known as the enantiomers, right? Then counter ion analysis in drug discovery, and the last one, that is a protein characterization. So we can use this technique for protein characterization also, okay. Now it has some advantages, like it offers new selectivity and alternative to HPLC. So instead of HPLC, you can use capillary electrophoresis because it resembles like your HPLC, okay. And as I told you, the detectors which are which are using in case of HPLC and GC, we can use same for the capillary electrophoresis. So they are the alternative, or you can say the capillary electrophoresis is an alternative to high performance liquid chromatography, and this technique is very easy and predictable selectivity, okay. By using this technique, you will get higher separation efficiency, then small sample will be required, fast separation will be there, it can be automated and easily coupled to MS, okay. So these are the advantages of capillary electrophoresis. Like advantages, it have disadvantages also, like it cannot do preparative scale separations, and low concentrations and large volumes difficult. So as I told you, advantages, they use small volume, but the disadvantages, they don't take large volumes, or they have difficulties to separate the large volume samples, okay. So this is all about the capillary electrophoresis. Here I have given some references by which you just go through it, you'll get more information about capillary electrophoresis. So that's all about capillary electrophoresis. I hope you guys understand what is capillary electrophoresis, principle of this technique, advantages, instrumentation part is also very important, okay. Thank you.